I came across the widest yard sale in Selma, Alabama, and I decided to shoot some footage. I was expecting to come across just a standard yard sale, maybe find some really interesting things. Instead, what I came across was an eclectic grouping of artisans, craftsmen, and sellers who, more than anything else, were looking to make people smile and have fun instead of just worrying about sales. It was exciting to get to meet this interesting group of people and have conversations.
So, how you doing, Miss Angela?
I'm doing fine.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll find something to talk about.
You got to have fun doing this.
Hey there, how's it going?
You travel with the
I,
yard sale,
I
correct?
travel all over the United States.
So, how far away does the widest yard sale start?
Well, the widest yard sale, the grandfather widest yard sale, goes from Aladdin, Michigan down to Gadsden, Alabama. It's 620 some miles. There's another one that's actually the longest in distance from Baltimore, Maryland, all the way to San Francisco. Uh,
Have you done that one?
I've done that one time, buying, not selling.
Just buying, not selling.
Yeah. Now the 127, I've done both. I've gone all the way from Michigan down to Alabama, buying, and I've sold in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Cool. So you've done this how many years now?
Uh, Part time over 50, full time since 2006. Yeah, 2006.
And you said most of your proceeds go towards the mission.
I started doing this through Mustard Tree Missions, the mission organization. I started a long, long time ago when I started taking mission trips mainly to Venezuela.
And what do you find most exciting about following
Well,
that?
actually, you know, finding unusual things like that jeweler's thing over there. Uh, that's I've never come across one of those before. Um, you find something really neat. I got a box, wooden box that had a gavel in it, and nobody else did the research on it. I did. It came from the old North Church in Boston when they redid the church in 1975. They changed the oak beam, main beam was breaking, so they made some gavels out of it for the bicentennial. Okay, that wood is from 1732. But the biggest pleasure I get out of it is meeting the people. I mean, I've met people from every state in the Union, from Singapore, from New Zealand, from Iceland, Europe, Africa, all over the world.
If you had to pick, would you rather the small town stops or the big city stops?
Well, it's hard to say. As a seller, you meet more people in the big cities usually. And it's like Nashville's easier to set up because I got a cement floor, I got a metal roof over me. I'm still outdoors, but I don't have to put a tent up. I don't have to worry about the weather. Okay, but there's a little one in Friendship, Indiana. It's a population like 140 some people, and there's like 3 roads in. You actually end up sleeping on the ground because there's no motel within driving distance because the traffic jams every day, and it's an 11-day show. So it's kind of neat too. Um, from a buyer standpoint, Labor Day weekend, you can go to on Saturday, Stormville, New York. 22 miles east of that is what they call Elephant Trunk in Connecticut, New Milford, Connecticut. Take Labor Day off, and then you can do Brimfield, Massachusetts for 6 days. Um, Flea Market Flip does a lot of their buying there, and it's fantastic. Auction wise, Angie's auction here is one of my top 5 auctions in the United States. That's one of the reasons I come here. Um, Shipshewana, Indiana, to me, is the best auction in the United States. Simply because every Wednesday at 9 a.m. they ring a bell, and as many as up to 16 Amish auctioneers go to work at the same time in the same building, nothing but antiques.
50 years doing the circuit.
Yeah.
I know you said part-time initially.
Yeah.
Um, what got you into it? What?
Well, just seeing unusual things for sale. I went to a couple of yard sales and found some interesting items, and then I heard about these flea markets. And there's flea markets all over the United States. There's over 70 yard sales like this. Some of them only 100 miles, some of them 68 miles, some of them 3,000 miles. It just depends, and it's fun. It's fun. You never know what you're gonna find.
Do you often come across the same people when you go to different?
Very often, some of the what we call pickers that we run into each other at different yard sales. We sell at the same places sometimes, but you just never know who's going to show up. I've had people from my hometown show up in Indiana and Kentucky and even up in Maine, and they didn't know I was going to be there. I had no idea they were going to be there.
So there's a little bit of a fun every so often. You get to see people
Oh yeah,
you hadn't expected to run into.
yeah. And it really doesn't matter where you set up. The vendor next to you, you become family. It's give you an example. The market in Nashville. I have this couple from upstate Tennessee, up northwest Tennessee. They come, Denise and Jean. She cooks lunch for us every day, right there in her booth. He makes some of the best coffee. Okay, it's just like family.
You get to keep up with these people
Oh, yeah.
off season too. Huh?
Absolutely. But there really is no off season. The Nashville's every month. You know,
That's a good point.
it's the fourth weekend of every month, except for November and December. Then it's the third weekend.
What's one of your favorite pieces that you came across? Like one of those treasures that was just
One of the neatest things I came across, it was a small rural auction in eastern Pennsylvania, a little town called Carlisle, and it was a Purple Heart. Okay, well, I'm a Vietnam vet, and it was a gentleman's Purple Heart, and I got it at the auction. And it took me almost 3 years to research it and find the family. And it was another guy from Kansas. And I got the opportunity to take it to his, it was his grandson. And it was a guy that was in World War II. How it ended up in Pennsylvania, because the guy was from Kansas, I'll never know. But you just, and I didn't sell it to him, I gave it to him because it belonged in the family. Another thing, right here in Angie's auction, back in October of last year, I got some medicine bottles from a drugstore that was right here in Selma. It was over 102 years the drugstore was in business, called Swift Drugstore. And I got their empty bottles, okay? And in one of the bottles was a medicine bottle with a cardboard box that it came in from Duquesne, Pennsylvania.
Huh.
That's my hometown, 12 miles outside of Pittsburgh. I didn't even know that company existed. And I grew up there. I'm 78, okay?
Mhm.
And I don't normally keep stuff. I usually buy it and resell it. I got that on my desk at home.
Do you feel like there's some kind of like a little bit of a thrill to finding these
Oh,
hidden
yeah.
treasures?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I get more joy out of meeting the people and finding strange things than I do even selling. I mean, selling pays the bills,
Mhm.
and it helps send stuff overseas.
Yeah.
So, we have a feeding program down there in Venezuela. We have, well, you can go to our website and see all the stuff we do down there. It's Mustard Tree Missions. It's a link you can see.
Mustard Tree Missions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's in Venezuela. And we cover the whole nation of Venezuela. I've led 41 mission trips down there. I've been to Siberia, Russia on a mission trip. We taught in the Bible College, which was held in the old KGB headquarters in the third largest city in Russia, and it happened to be in Siberia. But that was in May and June when it was warm. In fact, it even gets to 110 there sometimes in the summer. It was 50 below in the winter, and we're not talking wind chill factor. Temperature.
Out at this auction, you've come here.
Oh, I've been coming to Angie's auction now for, at least 10 years, maybe 11.
And you've always enjoyed being out here?
Oh, yeah, it's great, folks. And the food's always great.
Now, do you stay in Selma when you're here, or do you stay...
Well, the auction is on a Sunday, as a rule. Sometimes it's other days. I just drive over from Mississippi for the auction. It's usually 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's usually over by 4 or 5 o'clock or earlier. Now, for the Highway 80, I'll stay sometime. This time I didn't, because we're getting ready to fly to Colorado for a new grandson.
So you said the hometown...
Duquesne, Pennsylvania.
Is that still hometown?
No, I live in Meridian, Mississippi now.
So do they have auctions in Meridian as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're all over. All over, but not like this. In fact, there's a yard sale that starts in Meridian, Mississippi and goes all the way to Bristol, Virginia. It's 590 miles.
Do you do that one as well?
Sometimes I do, yeah. But I don't do it in Meridian. I go further. If I sell, I sell right there in Tumsuba, out in Mississippi. But when I buy, I'll go all the way up and come back.
Usually you chase them if it's a buying trip?
It varies. Nowadays, it's more of a selling trip because I've got accumulated so much stuff. And then last summer I got pneumonia, so I've sort of downsized quite a bit. My family wanted me to downsize. Actually, they wanted me to retire. But you got to do something.
Yeah.
And besides, it helps a mission organization. You can have the greatest paying job in the world. If you don't enjoy it and like it, find something you like. I've done a lot of things professionally. My favorite was when I owned my own insurance agency. But I've worked in a steel mill. I've repaired computers. I've helped send computers to the moon, or rockets to the moon, rather, back in the 60s and 70s. But once I found insurance, I just enjoyed that, helping people.
So you did work for NASA?
I didn't work for NASA. The gentleman here, when you see the pictures, he was their photographer. I repaired the IBM computers. The military trained me on computers back in the 60s.
Okay. Which branch were you, if you don't mind me asking?
United States Army.
And they put you through training on computers?
Very much so. Well, we used to laugh and say, someday there'll be computers that talk to you. And I always said, never in my lifetime. That was in the 60s and 70s.
They can talk to you now.
They can do all kinds of things.
Do you ever see people selling like old phones and TVs? Or
Oh, yeah. Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
I got an old telephone over there, an old dial-up telephone.
Oh, yeah, that is cool. If you were going to give any major advice to somebody that was wanting to start maybe following the circuit and doing this, what would your advice be?
Enjoy it. You're going to buy some things that you're going to pay too much for, and you're going to buy some things that you get for almost nothing that are very valuable. Just roll with the punches, but have integrity. In other words, I bought things. I'll give you an example. I bought a book once, and the lady wanted 25 cents for it. Okay. I happened to look at it was the autobiography of Bear Bryant. Okay. And I played football 14 years through my junior year of college. And um, I looked at it. I'm from Pittsburgh. I knew Joe Namath's picture was in there. And I looked, and the book was autographed by Bear Bryant. Okay. And so I said, ma'am, I just can't give you 25 cents for this book. I said, here's $20. She says, no, 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 no. I said, look, it's worth a lot more than $20, but I'm going to give you $20. I got it at a yard sale. Okay, I sold that book in Tuscaloosa for $800. So I got a good deal. She got a good deal. But you got to have, you got to give. I didn't know I was going to get $800 for it. You know, I had put $50 on it, and the guy when he saw it, he says, "Oh, you got Joe Namath in here, and you got Bear Bryant's autograph." He says, "I'll give you $800 for it." Well, I wasn't going to turn it down. I got a mission organization, so.
And that's
But
$800 that went to help a lot of people.
oh yeah, that fed a lot of people. So, but take your time, enjoy it. Don't just run through. Um, have fun.
Yeah.
Life's short, but be honest.
Meeting Mr. Burton changed my perspective on this documentary, and I went from turning it into just a documentary about a yard sale into a documentary about the people behind the yard sale. He led such a fascinating life, and he had so many interesting stories that I knew for sure I was going to come across more, and I was going to meet a much more interesting group of people than I originally intended on.
Got more stuff in from yesterday? A little bit. How you making out? Oh, pretty good. What's about the best we can do on that, you think?
10.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So, and this is the only yard sale y'all do?
Oh yeah. Well, the only big one, like they'll do one in
told me
Greensboro.
about that.
Yeah, where they get together. Yeah.
I don't actually know of others. Those kind of a one and only.
We know him from the auctions and everything, and so we just this kind of like the home team or something, I guess, So this is just the one we automatically think of, and and usually one a year is enough for us.
Really?
Although they're not unpleasant. It's funny, when you're getting ready to do it, you think, oh yeah, got to get the truck, got to get the trailer, got to load up, got to get it, and you start, sort of thinking about it all stuff. And then when you do it or get it offloaded, you think, well, that went easy. And then you're sitting out here pleasantly for a couple of days in the, under the trees and everything. You think, well, this is really nice. Once you get here and you get out here and you start seeing all people you know and people you don't know, but people that you get to visit with, and make new friends, kind of. It's fun. I mean, I keep doing it. I'm just the loader and the mover. So I keep coming back.
What do you do besides? So I know you work at the antique shop.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I'm a retired librarian, library director, and see, when I retired, I said, I'm going to do what I want to do. I've been working for the man now for, 40 years or something. I'm going to have fun and do what I want to do. I just had a different view of it, rather than, I think Kitty likes, really seems to like to keep busy with stuff, and I like to keep busy, but I kind of like to keep busy on my own terms, like yard work and stuff like that. I did theater for a long time, and then during COVID, because it shut down the theaters and everybody was home, those 2 or 3 years, I got kind of lazy and decided, do I want to go to rehearsals for 6 weeks and drive to Tuscaloosa? I don't know. This is kind of nice, sitting here in the chair, dog, book, that kind of thing. And so I kind of got out of that, or not out of it. It just like it was closed for so long, and so I found out that other people in theater were sort of feeling that way, and now they're getting back to it. I'm thinking about getting back in. So we did stuff we did videos and stuff like that, but I may start doing it again just to have get back in there. But that's about it. The rest of it is just living and being myself. I'll say this for COVID, I not only read more books than I'd probably read in the previous year, but I also got to where I could read them faster.
If you see anything you like, everything is marked down beyond belief.
Yes. So anything that looks interesting, just let us know.
Meeting with Mr. and Mrs. Johnson was the second time that I'd heard about Miss Angie of Angie's Auctions, and that made me want to speak to the woman herself, the auctioneer that had brought all these people together, and have the opportunity to hear what she thought about the yard sale.
We've heard plenty about Angie's auctions. So, how often do y'all do auctions out here?
We do auctions every 3 weeks. Been a good year for auctions. We've been here 22 years. Yep, and we started around 2003, and we've been here ever since. I had to serve a year's apprenticeship prior to that, so I started in 2002. And then 2003, I graduated, and already the building was ready to go, and we went right in business. And I've been very fortunate because we've never had an auction that I didn't have plenty to sell. We have been blessed to always find nice treasures for other people, and we always like to find stuff for people that they have been looking for a long time, and we're able to run across it and stuff. So, best job I ever had. Should have started when I was 10. I don't know. I just absolutely love what we do. And then you get the pleasure of knowing that you helped somebody, you know. Thank God we have built a very good reputation for the 22 years that we've been here.
If you had to give any advice to somebody that was trying to get into this and wanting to do it, what would you recommend?
Well, first of all, you got to be really dedicated because it's a lot of hours, and it's long hours sometimes because you don't know how many things people own until you dig out everything. So you could be at a home for a week just cleaning out everything and bringing trailer loads of stuff here. Then you have to inventory and tag and then hold sales. And I have actually done some sales that I've done 4 auctions just to be able to liquidate one house.
Well, earlier you said that you wish you'd done it earlier. Would it be safe to say you found something that you love to do?
Oh, yes,
So,
I love it. I love it. And so, and I know I could not have done it when my child was young because you would have missed a lot of ball games and taekwondo sessions and, tournaments for different things and stuff because it is very time consuming. And then you have to work at the person that you're working for's availability. Like, they may live out of state and they just come in on Friday and they may have to leave by Sunday afternoon. And then they want to load the things that they're going to take home with them and then leave stuff for you to finish going through. But for the most part, like I said, it's just time consuming to a certain part. But I wish I would have started a lot younger and still till I was in my 40s before I started. So,
it was a pleasure talking to you.
nice to meet you and thank you.
After getting the chance to speak with Miss Angie Morgan, I came across an individual that had several beautiful carvings in front of his tent, and he was a chainsaw artist, or chainsaw hacker, as he would like to say. And I took the opportunity to chat with him about what brought him to Alabama and what brought him to start making chainsaw carvings.
Hey, when I first come down to Alabama, I was hard to talk to. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I kept to myself a lot. And I don't know, more living down here with that family, they ain't nothing but a bunch of storytellers. And I come out of the woodwork then. On YouTube, I was watching this one guy that does quick sales. You can sell every one of these things, man. I made a bunch of them. You see them all in through here, all in big crates and everything. Ain't sold one.
So, this is the widest yard sale. How'd you hear about it?
Bo, well, actually, Tony that's over there, his wife. Yeah, we're all friends and everything. I know Bo and Angie both of them. Years ago, I done carpenter work for Bo's son, and I done that, and then this coming up. Ruth says, "Why don't you do that sale down there? It's 2 days." I said, "Yeah, 2 days from sun up to sunset. that's a, that's a long hours just to sit around here. But I committed myself. Here I am. But I've had I've had a lot of compliments on this stuff. It's
That's good.
makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I even I even bought I bought some stuff down there. Bought a hoe, and then you can't find hoes in Selma.
Really?
If you do, they're $35, $40 for one.
Lord.
I bought a hoe yesterday from that guy down there, $10.
Hey,
Then I was looking for some flower pots, big flower pot. I found two of them down there. I'm out to look for a deal too. Then when I go buy something, if I want it, I'm gonna find a way to buy it. But everybody that comes to my shop to buy stuff, that's out on the Summerfield Road, 12 miles out on the Summerfield Road. I'm on the right. That's Camp Risk. And I just put a sign out now. Sawdust Creations. That's like in the front sign. And then below it, I got carbons for sale. Well, actually, the sign when you look at it, it looks like Sawdust Creations for sale. I ain't got no family down besides my wife. That's it. All mine's from Missouri, South Dakota, and Minnesota. But all my woodworking, it's all trailed back to Minnesota. It's all originated in Minnesota. When I was in seventh grade in high school, that's when my school started a shop class. So I done that. That's the only thing I was good in. Always played with wood ever since seventh grade in school. Built a little red barn, and finally started buying my tools back and everything. Got set up in there. I just done small woodworking stuff, like crates or whatever. Yeah, then when I bought this place where I'm living now, I own now, that I got I got into a bigger building. I built onto the building that I had. I had a little red barn, then I had a 12 or 20 portable added on the back of that, and then eventually I added another 20 by 30 on the back of that, onto that. So it's a weird looking place up there. Everybody calls it the little village. Before I retired, I started getting I bought a chainsaw. I was watching YouTube on different carvers and have professional carvers. I was looking at them, and he says, "That's what I want. I want to try it." That's where it all started, right then. Carvers was pretty rough when I first started, but the more you do it, the more better you get. You got to just keep going at it. That's my old buddy, my Quaker parrot.
Yep.
I made this idea come from my Quaker parrot. I used to have a pet Quaker parrot.
It's a gorgeous piece, and you did this all with chainsaw, right?
No, I just do a rough drawing of it on a flat piece of wood. It's about that big. Then you that rough cut. Then you take a chainsaw and you get close to the line as you can. On this stuff. It's called blocking out. You just block it out with the chainsaw, and then you go back with die grinders, side grinders. You got a flap sander. There's probably six, seven, 8 tools to finish this. And a lot of all this detail and everything. That's from a regular old plain old Dremel. I'm doing this. This is my passion.
Is this the first market you've gone to?
No, I usually do. Most of the time, I try to do 4 of them a year. Because from the last one I had last year till now, about 6 months period, that's when I do all my inventory up. I try and get my inventory up for the next 4 sales. All them, I do real good at. Sales wise, Get to talk to a lot of people.
Those other sales, are those kind of like this one is?
But this is see, them other ones, they're not they're not yard sales.
Uh,
I just want this is a yard sale.
uh,
I don't know what the difference is. Hard to get hard to get the Dremel bits and all that around the back. You got to carve all this out of that log.
that one looks cool though. And you made the tree out of some of the stuff you carved off, huh? Or the nest, I mean.
Yeah, the nest is you lay the log down like that, and take your blade like that, and you get them long curls like that. That's what that is. That's cool. That's
I'm gonna have to stay with you. I ain't gonna say it's over. What about you, Brother Rick? If it's gonna hurt my heart, I want to live. I'm gonna play that one by King George in a few minutes.
See how your wood crack. You get that check in it, and it'll go all the way down. Because the middle of the log's right up in here. That check went there. Lucky it didn't go through his nose and mouth.
Huh. Yeah, that's another one on that one, huh?
Yeah, that's just check it. You can't get away from it. Unless you got an expensive kiln dryer. I don't know how logs dry in a kiln. But anyway, if you don't have that drying, you can't, they're going to check on you. They're going to crack.
Having heard so much about Bo Morgan, Angie of Angie's Auctions' husband and co-owner of Angie's Auctions, I came to realize that he was the actual host for the entire widest yard sale event. So I wanted to get to meet him and get to know how he enjoyed the event.
So, how long have you been doing
Roughly about 20 years. Yes, sir.
And always enjoyed doing it?
We love it. Every year we look forward to it.
What's your favorite part about doing it?
Just making sure everybody is happy. That's the main thing. And the weather cooperates. Yes.
Is it fun getting to meet all the new people?
Absolutely. Yes.
Have you ever traveled the circuit?
No, I don't. Well, we're stuck here. We're grounded. Then we travel other circuits that do what we do other different times of the year. And we love it.
So, when you get to do the other circuits, do you enjoy more hosting or traveling?
Getting to travel and meet new people, and a lot of people we already know, even though they're in Mississippi, North Alabama, because they come here, trade with us, and we go trade with them. We all just swap money, basically. Yeah. It's the same 1,000 people that's in this whole little circuit, pretty much. Yes, sir.
So
We love it.
it's a very fun thing.
It is.
And
Yes.
is it usually as big a turnout as it was this year?
Yes, this is about average, correct. Yeah. And I figured we had maybe 1,500 people total both days. Yes.
And then do you know how many vendors you had set up?
At about 30. Yes, sir. Correct.
Nice. That's
I was
awesome.
maxed out today. Yes, sir.
It was
Which
really
is
good.
great. Yes, sir.
I'm glad we got the opportunity to film all of this. It's been fun.
Yeah, it is. Yes, sir. Yes, small town. This is it.
So, like I said, it was thrilled being here.
Yes, I
Um,
appreciate that.
if you had any recommendations for somebody that was interested in getting into doing the circuits and doing the trading, what would you recommend?
Yeah, well, they just take their time, just learn every day, and just, you'll learn. It's going to take you a couple of years to learn what sells. You can't just jump into it and start buying, It's just going to take a while to learn.
What I came to recognize from my time at the widest yard sale was that it's not so much about the sale and it's not so much about the work. It's about making people smile, having a good time, and making some friends along the way.